information that we want to talk to you about, and Tom and Mac and Chris, feel free to chime in here, is, hey, I just spent 2.5, 3 days learning about volleyball, and maybe some of it is very new to me and very new to my players and my system. How do I implement some of this stuff easily and immediately? And we think that if you're just going to get started with, hey, I want to get 2% better right off the bat without having to, worry about my systems and tactics and too much of that, how can I do that? And here are some ways of doing it. We think that, and maybe there's a fifth that I'll talk about at the end here, we think that the first thing you should do, or the first thing you should be very interested in doing, is mastering the fundamental skills. And teaching your kids the mechanics that we have taught you. And doing a lot to kind of ingrain those mechanics and focus on those mechanics with them and get them to the point where Tom talked about, where they have this mindset of change, this mindset of growth, this mindset of development, and this mindset that failure is simply an opportunity to teach me something to learn from, as opposed to something to run away from and to hide from and to try and avoid at all costs. That it's okay to have failure, and that in fact it's welcome, that failure is a natural part of learning and of getting better and of growing. And so hopefully that is something that's in your kids' mindset as they start mastering these fundamental skills. So teach the fundamental skills, and I would teach in this order. I would teach passing. I would teach actually serving before I taught spiking. So passing, serving, attacking, individual defense, probably setting for non-setters, and then blocking. And so setting for non-setters maybe goes in here, and blocking. But I'm telling you right now, if your team serves better and passes better than the other teams you play, you're going to win a very, very high percentage of your matches. At the level we're coaching at here, passing and serving are the big deal. And so be great at those two skills and spend a lot of time practicing those two skills. Spend big chunks of your practice in serve and serve-receive activities. The second thing that you can do it's a lot of bang for buck, that is an easy change to make, well, kind of an easy change to make, is start passing and digging off the net. When you go back and you watch your players play, even when we watched us play here, I hope you noticed, and I hope it drove you crazy, how many balls got tight. If you were the setters, you probably got driven crazy by how many balls got passed tight, and now I'm having to one-hand them or get in the net or set them over or deal with them just because we played too close to the net. And good volleyball is not played close to the net. It's played off the net a little bit. It's a better game if we can get there. So pass, set, and dig off the net. Teach your kids to set up if they're the setters off the net. Teach them where the targets are supposed to be, and it'll just be better for them. Third, have some defensive principles. The one we like the best is put your best defenders where most of the balls go. And so we think it's good if you can kind of figure out where balls get hit in your league. But if nothing else, just start putting them in that middle spot. Get them to sit down in those locations that we talked about and get them to see the game. And teach them within this to start reading, to start seeing ball setter, ball hitter in that sequence, to start kind of interpreting, and getting some of this pattern recognition that Tom talked about. This inside set equals a tip. This ball that went all the way to the line, that pattern equals this result, and so they start learning about volleyball, about what happens when the ball gets set here, and the ball gets set there, and get them where balls get hit, and then start teaching them to read. Next thing we think that you can do to get a lot of bang for buck is be great in transition. Work really hard in transition. Make sure they have wonderful transition mechanics, and make sure they're working in transition. It's easy to get lazy. It's easy to just kind of back up, or it's easy to just kind of stand there, and it's hard to think about every time the ball comes on my side, I have to turn and run. I've got to be a great hitter. but make that part of their habits, that they're going to be great in transition. And then fifth, if I had to include this too, I would say get a whiteboard and get your drills organized on the whiteboard and start scoring your drills in practice. And it'll be good for you because you'll be organized and structured, but it'll be great for your kids if you never even do anything with the scores. If you simply erase the whiteboard after practice, do that experiment if you like. Play some Queen of the Court, some Monarch of the Court for a little while. And then go, all right, we're going to keep some scores. And just start putting marks on the board. You guys are winning. You guys, didn't win as many. It'll change the nature of practice instantly. They'll kind of be when you just play. As soon as you start scoring it, even if you're not doing anything with the scores, they'll get after it in a way that is completely different than when you're not scoring. So get some drills on the whiteboard, get it organized, but score practice and keep score in practice. And it'll change kind of the competitive environment in your gym. Tom, anything else you think we should add here?
Thanks for having us. It's an honor to be able to talk about coaching with other coaches. Really enjoyed it.
Chris, Mac, anything else for us? Where'd you guys go?
Excellent.
Thanks today.
He's getting a number.
Okay. Hopefully not, since both of them are married to other people.
No, what
Let's get him a number for Gorney. Let's say.
Okay. Yeah, if you have any girls that you want to set Chris Gorney up with, he's a great guy. But, no, what I was actually trying to talk her into doing, we kind of run a business, and we like to get people to come to these clinics. And so if anybody had a great experience here this weekend and could give me a 30-second soundbite over on the camera, just as on your way out, I would really appreciate it. Another thing is, I know Chris did you talk about the toolbox a little bit?
Very little bit.
He mentioned it a couple of times throughout. Let me give you a little bit more information on it. We have a promo code. I think it's on the fourth page of your clinic manual. There's a real nice discount for a toolbox. We basically have all of the information that we've shared this weekend with you. It's online. There's a ton of video. As Chris said, there's an automated, really functional cauldron that you can set up for your teams. It's a great value, but yeah, I highly recommend that you guys use this. And we have packages for clubs, and if you're just one coach, you can definitely get set up with that. So, but other than that, this has been an absolute pleasure being here with you guys. We really appreciate your kindness and hospitality. And if you guys could give Erica and her staff maybe just
Erica, I like the fact that it's air conditioned. Thank you.
This really isn't possible without her and her letting us, getting everything set up with her administration. There's all kinds of red tape, so we really.
Level 2 to come soon.
Okay.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope.
Okay, but hey, thank you all so much for. I'm in Texas. Thank you all for just being fantastic. This has been a really great group. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all coming.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And like Tom and Max said, it's our privilege to get to spend time with you. And honestly, as I go around the country and I meet various groups of people, volleyball coaches are the absolute salt of the earth. You guys are the best people I ever come across in any profession. And the fact that you come here to learn more about volleyball speaks volumes about you and about the dedication to your players and the love that you have for them. And it makes me feel great inside. So anyway, thank you again so much. Wish you safe travels and certainly the best of luck as you go coach your teams this season. And if you need anything at all, ever, my email address is in there. My cell phone number is probably in there as well. So give me a call on my cell. I'd love to talk with you anytime I can. If you're in Utah, give me a holler. We'll get you good seats at BYU men's volleyball games. And if you come across any, 6'2", 6'3",
Send them your way.
send them Tom's way. Yeah, send them Tom's way. Yeah. If they're 6'7", 6'8", send them to BYU. Send them to Loyola. There we go. So thanks again, and it's been wonderful being here.